Veterans Day has a fascinating historical origin rooted in an unexpected ceasefire that ended World War I. This day began as Armistice Day, celebrated on November 11, 1919, to mark 1 year since the guns of Europe finally fell silent. World War I, known as the Great War, had devastated an entire generation, claiming over 16 million lives and affecting nearly every nation on the planet. Yet, the end came in an unexpected way through an armistice or ceasefire rather than a traditional peace treaty at precisely the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. This unusual timing turned into a global symbol of hope and peace, setting the foundation for what would become Veterans Day in the United States. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to like and share for more interesting stories. Stay tuned for some amazing content coming your way. The road to peace had been long and complex. In the months leading up to November 1918, the Central Powers, especially Germany, were crumbling under the relentless pressure of the Allied forces and internal political unrest. However, both sides were reluctant to give in completely, even as millions of soldiers and civilians suffered from hunger, sickness, and the aftermath of 4 grueling years of trench warfare. Germany, facing uprisings within its own ranks and people clamoring for peace, finally decided to negotiate a ceasefire with the Allied forces. On November 7, 1918, a German delegation crossed the war-torn battle lines in France and met with French Marshal Ferdinand Foch, who led the Allied military forces in a quiet railway car stationed in the remote Compiègne forest. They spent 3 intense days negotiating the terms of surrender, which were highly unfavorable to Germany. Marshal Foch's terms were harsh. Germany had to evacuate occupied territories, surrender arms and equipment, and allow Allied occupation in strategic locations, effectively crippling the German war machine. With no other options, Germany signed the armistice on November 11, 1918 at 5 a.m., but the world was not yet free of gunfire. The ceasefire would take effect at 11 a.m. that morning, leaving 6 hours in which the fighting continued. What happened in those final 6 hours has become one of the war's most tragic ironies. Orders to cease hostilities didn't arrive in time on all fronts, and soldiers on both sides continued to fight, not knowing peace was only hours away. Artillery batteries, unaware of the ceasefire, fired until the very last moment. Some accounts tell of soldiers who charged across no man's land, even in the final minutes, losing their lives for gains that would mean nothing minutes later. An estimated 2,738 men died on that final morning, an avoidable tragedy that haunts military historians to this day. One particularly heart-wrenching story is that of Private Henry Gunther, an American soldier from Baltimore. Tragically, Gunther is remembered as the last known soldier killed in World War I. Only 1 minute before the armistice took effect, Gunther charged a German roadblock despite the Germans signaling for him to stop. He was shot and killed just as the clock struck 11 a.m. His death stands as a haunting reminder of the last-minute chaos of the war, and he is remembered as a poignant figure in the war's final needless fatalities. Following the war, November 11th became known as Armistice Day, celebrated with great relief and gratitude. However, after the devastation of World War II and the Korean War, Americans began to feel that the day should honor not only World War I veterans, but all veterans who served in the US military. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill renaming the day Veterans Day, expanding the meaning to include veterans of all wars. Today, Veterans Day remains a reminder of the unexpected peace that ended World War I and the ongoing gratitude we owe to those who have served. It is a day to honor the sacrifices and bravery of all veterans while also reflecting on the fragility of peace and the hope that, through their service, lasting peace can one day be achieved. Thank you for watching Story Today. Please like, share and subscribe for more interesting stories.